Hey guys, Jim Hoffman here from Medic One Media. I want to give you one of the most honest website lessons today that I could probably give you, and that's the thing that most people are not reading your website. Now, that might sound a little harsh, especially if you spend a lot of time writing every paragraph, every service description, every section of your homepage. But the truth is, most of the visitors are not sitting there carefully studying your website like it's a book. What they're doing is they're scanning. They're glancing at headlines, they're looking at your images, they're trying to figure out very quickly, am I in the right place? Or can these people help me? Do I trust this business? And they're making that decision fast, right? In fact, the first impression that people get happens almost immediately before someone has even read your best copy, before they even checked your testimonials, before they filled out your form. They've already formed sort of a gut level opinion about your business. And this is why the design of your site matters. It's not because your website needs to win some kind of award, not because it needs to be flashy, or not because it has to look like some kind of giant national brand like Amazon, right? It matters because people use the look and the feel of your website as a shortcut for trust. So if your site looks clean, if it's modern, if it's organized and professional, people are going to naturally assume that your business is probably professional too. But if your site looks like it's outdated, it's cluttered, it's confusing, or just kind of thrown together, that impression follows you as well everywhere else you go. So now your visitors reading your testimonials with doubt. They're looking at your services with a little bit of skepticism. Okay, they're wondering if your business is still active. They are second guessing whether they should even reach out to you at all. And here's the dangerous part: most of the time, they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to send you a message saying, "Hey, I was interested, but your homepage felt confusing and your images look generic, so I left and went to your competitor." No, they're going to just leave. They just disappear. You're never going to see them again. So here's a simple test that you can run on your own website. Call it the blink test, if you will. Open your homepage, look at it for just a few seconds, and ask yourself three questions. First is it immediately clear what it is that we do as a business? Second, is it immediately clear who we help? And third is it immediately clear what someone should do next? If the answer is no to any of these, your website is probably working harder against you than for you. And this is where a lot of businesses make that same mistake. They write their website like people are going to slowly read every sentence from top to bottom, and they're not going to do that. Your job is to make the important stuff impossible for your visitor to miss. That means strong headlines, short sections, clear call to action, simple language, visual proof, and real photos whenever possible. Bold key points you want to add also, and put those where they matter. Give your site enough breathing room that someone can actually understand what it is that they're looking at. Think of your homepage as a conversation with a busy person. They don't need your entire life story in the first 10 seconds when they get to your website. They need to know whether you understand their problem, whether you can help, and what the next step that they should take is. So, if your website opened with vague language like innovative solution for modern businesses, well, you're making people work way too hard. Say what you do, say who you do it for, and say why it matters. And importantly, say what they should do next. The websites that are going to win, they're not always the prettiest, but they are the clearest. Pretty can help you. Professional design can absolutely help. But if design doesn't create that trust and that clarity really fast, it's not going to do its job. So here is your homework if you're interested in getting your site up to par. Look at your website like a stranger would, not the owner. Not like the person who already understands the business. You know what's going on. Look at it like someone who just found you and is deciding whether or not to stay. Can they tell what you do in a few seconds? Can they tell that they're in the right place? And can they tell what action they need to take next? If not, that's not really a small issue. That's a conversion problem. But the good news is it is fixable. You don't always need like this big rebuild of your website. Sometimes you just need a clearer message, better structure, some stronger visuals, and a homepage that respects how people actually behave online. If you're not sure whether or not your website passes that blink test we talked about, I offer a free business audit. There's no pressure, no hard pitch, just a second set of eyes to help you see what your customers may be seeing. Because your website doesn't have minutes to earn the trust. Most of the time, it's just seconds. So if you want that free audit, I have a link here on this page below this video. You can go check it out, and I'll go ahead and get you that audit for free. Again, no strings attached, no pressure. Just something I think might help you get some clarity of where you can improve. All right, I'm ended there, guys. Jim Hoffman from Medical One Media. Be better at business.